you today, Sabrina?
It's been less than 24 hours since we just did a podcast. So
that's true, yeah. But so yeah, on another episode of the Talk of the Ring show, you have your host,
Sabrina and
Harley. And since I introduced them yesterday, Sabrina, you can take the stand and introduce our guest for today.
Okay, today we have a very special guest. We have Uncle Masty.
What's up, ladies?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Trying to wake up. That's my dog.
Sure.
Hi, Munson says hello.
I feel that. School went back today, so I'm like dead.
And I got to work later, so I'm just relaxing until I actually have to get ready for work.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
I'm tired. I'm doing good though. We were super excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here. I've seen you both around just about everywhere, and looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better and letting you know me a little bit better.
Yeah,
for sure. I think the first time I saw you was actually at your show in Throop, because I remember I went to see the dog collar match. It was with Johnny Moran and the other guy, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then I just kept coming back, and now that's become another one of my favorite shows to come to.
Thank you. We have a lot of fun. Then that we're a little bit different, or a little bit atypical, and try to do something just a little bit fun and different and very representative of the area. So hit hard and laugh harder.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a different vibe, Harley, than PPW is, for sure. Like it's definitely different. There's different matches, and wow, it's insane.
I know. I'm
23.
This year, I'm definitely going to make it to a show. It's like every time there was a show, I'm like, oh, I just started my new job. So it's not like I could easily take off. And I'm like, Sabrina shows up. And I'm like, that's not fair. I'm here at work while you're at a freaking wrestling show. But definitely this year.
Well, what helps with Smash is it's usually on the weekends I'm off. Whereas PPW is usually on the weekends that I work. So, and then Smash is also at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I could easily go to that show and then go to work right away. So it just works out sometimes.
Yeah.
But who or what got you into wrestling?
Oh my goodness. So I think I gotta let you know I'm not a spring chicken. I've been around for a while. So I got into wrestling like big time. Yeah, I want to say like 97, 98 with Raven and the Flock. I started watching when I was in high school, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm a really big dude, and these are really big dudes. And it was the first time I ever felt like, hey, this could be something that I could do. This could be, I was like, I was a big kid, but my school didn't have football, and I didn't really fit in anywhere. So it was like just this massive hulking mass walking around with nothing to do with it. So I kind of fell into wrestling and just kind of never looked back. Eric Schaefer took me to the Wild Samoan Training Center and WXW when it was in Hazleton. And it just kind of became my second family. And I've been in and out of wrestling ever since. Going on 25 years now.
Wow.
Old.
We weren't the one to say it.
Listen, Ric Flair's still going. And he was still going, but he was well into his 70s.
Until the wheels fall off and then some, why not?
Yeah. So would you say, like, with you saying, like, how long you've been into wrestling, do you think there's going to be, like, an age that you want to retire, or is it going to be more of, like, an injury kind of thing?
I think it's going to just come down to feeling. My thought was always, as long as I can go out there and continue to perform with dignity, you see some of these guys that age out and you watch their matches and you're like, maybe they shouldn't do this anymore. If I get to that point, then, I'll step away, but I won't get out of wrestling. I'll just step away from the in-ring part. I'll keep trying to make stars out of kids from this area, because it is so hard to break out of here and to get on any kind of national spotlight or attention. So if there's anything I can do to help the kids that are from the 570, where my home is, where I've always been, that's what I'll do. But until the wheels fall off, Uncle Masty, we're just going to keep rolling out to the ring and swinging them taters.
No, yeah, definitely.
For sure, for sure. You kind of have to just push through things, and go with the gut feeling. So how did you come up with coming up with your own show?
It was inevitable. Even when I was at WXW when I was younger, I always kind of weaseled my way into trying to learn the backroom side of the business. And then when I came back in 2012 and started helping out with Samu down at WXWC4, he gave me the opportunity to help out with booking a little bit, promoting. So I just was slowly acquiring these skills, and I knew in time it was going to happen. And the venue, the right opportunity, the right circumstances just kind of lined up this past year. And I said, you know what? You miss all the shots you don't take, right? Isn't that what Michael Scott said that Wayne Gretzky said? So I wanted to make sure I do that. And I want to make sure that I give it an effort. And, you can't just sit on the sidelines and be afraid to try new things. You just got to jump in there. And I was like, I'm either going to fail or succeed. And either way, we'll do it as explosively and brilliantly as possible. And now we're 5 shows in, and I have, I think, 11 or 12 lined up for this year. And we're not done yet.
No, yeah, definitely. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see that. I want to be there. But you know, work's a pain in the butt. I think I'm tired of it.
If we didn't have to participate in the whole work thing, we'd all be doing wrestling every weekend, all week long.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody in some sort of decision-making capacity needs to figure this out. Where's the smart people? We don't need to work anymore. We just want to go to wrestling shows.
Yeah, exactly. You just get paid from that.
No, but I feel that because you've got a great group of guys. The storylines that he comes up with is great. Like I loved the MIT against the one that just ended. Now he's going against Ricky Price. Like
Oh my goodness, yes.
he's
So
going
good.
against. He's gonna be a big one. And Mr. MIT, I can feel it.
Which one? Ricky Price or MIT? They're both
MIT.
fantastic. They're both absolutely wonderful.
I have been MIT since the first day I came to your show, so I'm gonna stick with MIT. Sorry, Ricky
Stay
Price.
tuned. Lots of fun things coming for that kid. I promise you. Stay tuned. You guys thought you saw matches before that you wanted to see. Wait till you see what I got planned up for this year. My goodness gracious.
You're really going to try to top the U-Haul with the doors?
Oh,
that one?
100%. That was just a drop in the. We were just getting started. Getting started. Wait till you see this ambulance match. I'm gonna put Face and Bougie through that ambo. Me and JS Hawthorne together is just going to be unstoppable. It's just the potato express right there. It's hot sauce all over. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll finally get rid of Bougie, and it'll be great. Won't have to deal with him anymore.
I'm all for getting rid of Jay Bougie, so I am all for it.
He grinds my gears.
Oh my goodness. So we got Trevor Kage in the chat. He goes,
Hey.
Any room for me?
Look at that. Everyone trying to get booked off a podcast. What's up, Trevor?
Trevor, he did something. He did something bad this morning that really, kind of irked me. He posted on his story about his brother's TikTok, and the way he spelled TikTok, I'm like, that's not how you spell TikTok, you old man. He spelled it like literal TikTok. I'm like, no, that's not how you spell it. I was like, oh my goodness. And I do not regret it. I'm like, get out of here. You sound like an 80-year-old man saying TikTok. But
we are that kind of podcast today.
Look, I don't even have a TikTok. I don't know how to operate that. They just finally drugged me onto Twitter, kicking and screaming. I hate Twitter so much, but you got to do it. I don't know if I can cross the TikTok bridge, though. I don't know nothing about it. Y'all kids going to have to educate me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but would you say you have a dream opponent that you want to face? It could be anyone.
Oh, damn, that's a tough one. Honestly, and maybe this is just because I'm old and crazy at this point, but I'd probably give my left nut to work Matt Tremont just once. I think that would be a lot of fun. I put out a list of people I want to fight in 2023. I'm going to do my damnedest to make as many of them as possible. But I think a good old fight with Matt Tremont would be a lot of fun. I might not survive it, but yeah, I think that'd be the top of my dream list right now. Or, obviously Raven or Tommy Dreamer, if you could, pull them from 1998. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, something wild and crazy like that would be a blast.
No, yeah, definitely.
I think he would do a good job with fans bring them weapons with Alpha.
Oh my god.
It's funny is I've known Alpha. Obviously, I went to his dad's school. I've known him since he was in high school. Like we were roughly around the same age, when I first started coming around. And I've never worked Junior. I've never worked him. I've worked Sam. I've worked Lance. I've never worked Alpha Junior. I'd love to. He's on my super secret top 5 people that I want to work with all time, just because I haven't. And I don't know if it'll happen, but I'd love for that one to happen.
No, yeah, I think that'd be crazy. It was
That'd be
crazy at
intense.
PGW, so
It was crazy the last time they did it, so you can only imagine.
you're right.
I've seen some wild ones with Alpha and Snitsky over the years. They're just a lot of fun. I love both those guys. They're fantastic. But I would love to throw hands with either of them.
Yeah, no. So what would you say is like your hardest part about wrestling? Like in the business at all?
The hardest part of wrestling is putting my boots on. No joke. Like I made the mistake of getting boots that go almost all the way up to my knees. So like anybody that's ever been in a locker room knows like when it's time for Masty to put his boots on, he's gonna bitch and moan about it for at least 15 minutes before he actually does it. Other than that, I don't know. It's enjoyable for me. I like to just go out there and see what happens. I like to just have fun. Overthinking, I think is the biggest killer for most wrestlers. They try to make too much happen with a limited amount of time. They try to cram too much stuff in. I like to keep it simple. Let's go out there and let's get right to the point. Let's tell a good story. Let's entertain some people. And let's hit hard. I need to feel it. If I can feel it, I know the crowd's going to feel it. If the crowd feels it, I'll feel it even more. So let's make that happen. As far as running a show, all of it, paying. That's the hardest part. Pulling money out of my wallet and putting it in everybody else's hands. That's the hardest part about anything. I love booking shows. I love, matchmaking. I love scouting talent. I've got such a great roster of people that don't give me any problems. We don't have belt drama because we don't have belts. I couldn't ask for a better roster. They make things super easy. Even in our September show, I had a bunch of cancellations and last minute pullouts because of illnesses and injuries and just unavoidable things. And we rebooked the show standing in the locker room, trying to make everything fit the way it needed to. And with the people that I had, no sweat. And I think that show, the September 5/7 OMG, available now on IWTV and soon on YouTube. I think the people really enjoyed that show. It was one of our better ones. And we did it on the fly. So putting my boots on and paying people out. Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Nice. Definitely.
Now we're going to go on the opposite and say what is one of the best things about wrestling and running the show? You said the storylines that you like to create.
I love matchmaking. I love looking at guys like MIT and saying who would be a fun match to see. What do I want to see? Because the best thing I can do is book a show that I'd want to watch. If I want to see it and I can get excited about it, then maybe y'all can get excited about it too. And if I'm booking a bunch of stuff that I'm excited about and nobody else is excited about, then I just need to reevaluate. So I think matchmaking is my favorite part. Trying to find those matchups is going to make people go, what on earth are they thinking over there? As far as wrestling goes, just the people. I love that connection time with the people. I love when the action breaks for a moment and you can look out and you can make eye contact. You can reach out to someone and you can feel like we literally feel y'all there. We really do. And when we feel that is the best part of professional wrestling, hands down.
I think one major thing that stands out between PPW and your show, is there's no literal like fence between you and the ring. So literally anything can happen. A wrestler could come right up to you. Like there's no saying what's gonna happen.
Y'all
So I
are
remember
part
there was a few times where Skylar Kincaid was like right by me, and I'm like, you can just get up, dude. Like, it's fun to just have that one-on-one interaction. So
it's all about that party vibe. We don't want y'all to feel like you're not part of it, because you're just as important, if not more important, than any of us in the ring. If safety ever becomes an issue, yeah, we'll dive into that. But like I said, the roster I have, I couldn't ask for better people. They make sure that everybody's is safe and protected. But we don't want to put barriers between anybody. So, as long as y'all stay where you're supposed to, and we stay where we're supposed to, and nobody gets hurt, we'll keep that open access.
Yeah, no, I love that. So if you got a call today from AEW and WWE, which one would you take up?
Honestly, I'd probably take up the WWE call. I love both products, but I feel like my style of storytelling, my style of booking is probably better suited for Triple H and the Vince camp than the Tony Khan camp, and that's not a knock on them, not at all. But yeah, I think that's where I would fit in better. I'm not fast enough to keep up with most of those cats at AEW. Like I get blown up watching them. Just walk to the ring. I'm like, whoo, come on, brother. Whew. I'm more of a hoss fight kind of guy. I'm honestly, out of all the televised products, I really enjoy Impact the most. Plus Ace is there, and it's always fun to root for your friends.
Yeah. So would you say, like, if AEW and WWE weren't an option, like, what would be like your dream, like, company, like anywhere, or like, venue, whatever?
Oh, throw the venue out there, Hammerstein Ballroom. I was an ECW kid, so like I did that jump from WCW and Raven and the Flock to just straight up 2 a.m. WYLN ECW programming, NWA Wildside. Yeah, Hammerstein Ballroom is the greatest venue that I think anybody could ever ask to work in, and that's one I'd love to be at. Promotion wise, I maybe just because I was just there this weekend for New Year's, but GCW was a blast. I would absolutely love to be around that environment again. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm pushing 40. I am living my dream, like building Smash into something that is something worth note. That's what my dream is right now. That's where my heart is. That's where my head is. That's where my mind is, and that's where most of my attention goes. I cut down a lot of my external bookings outside of the area just so I could focus on Smash, and I believe it's made the show better. I'm not out there trying to impress somebody in some other state that I'm back here at home. I'm growing home talent, home cooking. Love it.
I think what makes what I also love is like after the show, a lot of the wrestlers go to classics, and then the fans get that chance to really like sit down with you guys and like talk to you, and it's that personal thing that you talked about. Like you don't want any barriers between them. Like it's kind of getting to know them, because like that's how I got to know a lot of your wrestlers, just by talking to them and getting to know them. So to see the group of guys that you have, and like how none of them think that like they're better than anybody else there, like it's a great time. I mean, granted though, one of the wrestlers that kind of freaks me out that you have is Aaron Roxas.
He's a weird one. I think I wrestled him, this isn't even an exaggeration, 19 times last year. My goal is to not wrestle him at all in 2023. Yeah, Roxas is a little bit of a creep, but he's a solid wrestler. He's getting out there, and I'm very proud of the work that he's been doing. He's getting everywhere, and that's always the goal. I want everybody that's on my roster to outgrow this roster. Like I don't want anyone to feel like they have to be a Smash Master lifer. Like I want everyone to succeed beyond what I'm able to give them, and I will do everything in my power to help build them. But that access that we were just talking about, Sabrina, that is so important to me. One of the major foundational pillars of Smash Master Wrestling, and the reason why we're so 570 focused, is we wanted the kids that are from here to have role models that are from here, to have people that they can relate to as being like, hey, I grew up down the street from where that guy did. I can do that, because that's what got me into wrestling. Seeing somebody who looked like me and who I could identify with, and even if it was only in my head, like I could build this like rapport relationship with. I want to provide that for as many people as possible. We live in a world where there's no real superheroes, but these guys that jump out in the ring, they are real superheroes. The Adina Steel Pop is legit. People love her. And now any girl that's from Scranton can look and be like, I want to be like Adina. and
For
it's
sure.
100% accurate, because you can hear it, you can feel it. Like, y'all know from PPW shows, from high tension shows, when she comes through that curtain, everybody's paying attention. I want to give her the opportunity to have that, but I want to give all those girls in the crowd, all those kids in the crowd, it doesn't even have to be just girls, everybody the opportunity to say, I knew her, I know her, I know where she's from, I can do that too.
And you put her against men too, and like I think that's like the best thing is like seeing her dominate. I mean, Harley and I are big fans of Adina, so to see her go against these men and dominate, and it's like if she can do it, anybody could do it in the audience, and that's how they're gonna feel watching her. So it's a good thing that you do that.
That was another one of the big pillars, is there's equal fights, equal rights. We don't have gender divisions. I don't look at my roster and say I've got X amount of boys, X amount of girls. No, I got wrestlers. Anybody can be in there with anybody. You can see me and Riley Crow mix it up. You can see Adina mix it up with Face or Bougie. Anything's on the table. Everything is on the table. Yo.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I don't think I've ever actually seen you wrestle, but would you say you prefer to be like a heel or like a baby face?
I smile too much to be a bad guy. I love this shit sorry, that's more. I love this stuff way too much to be a downy. Like I gotta be up. I gotta be smiling. I gotta be laughing. And I don't mind getting kicked in the face. So, let me go out there and be everybody's big favorite uncle. Like that's really the whole thing came from. It's like, I'm your cool uncle. I'm the one that shows up at the family reunions and or family dinners and takes home all the leftovers. Like I'm just here to hang out, have a good time, and
see, yeah, you definitely smile a lot, but like when you're partnered with Skylar, I never know what is what, because like Skylar has such like a serious face on him that I'm like,
I never knew what to
on
do with Skylar. Like every day is a new adventure with that kid. The wrong side of the tracks, the right. I don't know if there is a right side of the tracks. He's just like this ball of aggressive energy everywhere he goes, and everybody loves him. Like it doesn't matter how much any promoters ever tried to make him be this like bad guy. People just love him, and it's like the same thing with me. We were tagging a lot at Frontier. We tagged, of course, at Smash. Anywhere we try to go in and be like aggressive bad guys, the crowd just loves us anyway. So, why fight it? Just give the people what they want. Sometimes the people do the booking.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I can say PPW doesn't do. They don't listen to the fans. Sorry, not sorry.
It's our podcast. We really don't care.
Whatever. But yeah, no, definitely. PPW just books whatever they want. But I'm not bad mashing them. I love them. But
sometimes we want to see matches that we want to see. Let us see those matches.
You gotta get a pulse on what your audience wants to see. If I don't give you what you want and I'm only putting out there what I want, what good is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I am gonna book what I want, but I promise you what I want is you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And now I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to Gavin, because he is now the commissioner, right?
Well,
Wrestling.
He had to vacate the post. That is legitimate. There was a letter from the state of Pennsylvania somebody did send in footage of Gavin being in the ring. So he's no longer allowed to be in the ring at Smash Master events. That is 100% not a fabricated story. Tommy just took all the credit for it. So I couldn't help but give Gavin an award. We actually just announced it last night. We're naming an award after him. Essentially, our version of an MVP would be the Commissioner's Choice Award. And this kid shows up to a show and he's like, "Which costume do you want?" And like him and his dad have this whole. They've got more costume changes than anybody throughout the night. And I always say, "Gabby, whatever you want to do, but buddy." And he became the commission. He shows up as big boss man, just giving Tommy Vex all kinds of grief, which I love. I honestly, I'll carve a match off the show just to get some Gavin and Tommy time, and I'll laugh the entire way through because it's great. But he came out to me like we were, I think, 15 minutes away from starting the show, and he goes, "Can I sing the national anthem?" I wasn't in the plan, but okay. And he goes out there and he kills it. I'm like, this kid's gonna eat every time he gets in the ring, it's the biggest pop of the night. So he's our MVP.
He's definitely a fan favorite for sure.
He's so great. So he may not be allowed to be in the ring anymore, but we're not done telling stories with Gavin. Not by a long shot. So stay tuned to that. That's one of the things I'm most excited about is what we're going to be able to get Gavin into this year. Because as long as he keeps showing up and keeps getting good grades, and doesn't get in fights at school, he'll be okay. He'll be good to go. He knows he's got an army of pro wrestlers behind his back anytime he's got problems. Love that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sabrina.
there's many times where I'll be at a show, me and Harley will be at a show, and so, like one of the heels will go and like mess with Gavin, and immediately in my mind I wanted to be so defensive and be like, touch that kid, mess with that kid, I swear, because you won't just have me, you'll have Harley, you'll have a whole back room of people ready to come and defend this kid.
I wrestled Bougie a few months ago at a Frontier show, and Gavin gave him one of his posters that he makes, and Bougie ripped it in the middle of the ring in front of everybody. And I thought that I wasn't even going to get to the ring. I thought everyone in the crowd was going to beat the crap out of him. They let me do it, but it was nuclear heat, absolutely nuclear heat. And biggest scumbag in the locker room with the cutest kid in the locker room. And, when Gavin runs away, with little tears in his eyes, like I wanted to wreck him. I just wanted to wreck him, and kind of made that happen. So I was happy camper.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like seeing Gavin cry, I don't think I could really fathom that in my brain, because like I would be like, who made you cry?
I was wrestling for a second. I wanted to go fight somebody. I was just ready to start swinging.
Like he just makes like these, like he's just so with these posters, like he makes so much, like, and he's like so time consuming and works so hard, and for someone to do that, that's like, wow.
Every Smash show at Troop, when we get there, him and his dad come early, and they set up the locker room, and the walls are covered in pictures that they've drawn. And of course, all the wrestlers are allowed to take whatever ones they're in, and it's the cutest thing in the world. But anytime there's out of town wrestlers that come in, they're blown away. Like, we're so spoiled. Anybody that's from NEPA is so spoiled because Gavin goes to every show. Doesn't matter what alphabet soup of letters runs it. He's at every show. And we all know, like, all right, Gavin's going to be here. You're going to get pictures with him. You'll probably get a drawing at some point. But these out-of-town folks come in, and they're just blown away that the greatest wrestling fan of all time resides here in NEPA, hands down. And I love that. I love all of it. Wrestling is for everyone. Wrestling's for families. Wrestling is fun. We just need to keep it there.
No, yeah, definitely. We always have to bring Gavin up. We love Gavin. One day he'll be on here. I think he's gonna be big. Oh my gosh, he's such.
Look at him.
Yeah, right.
He sells more merch than I do at my own shows.
I almost was like, oh, look at the little man. And then I realized that that's not Gavin not well when we're talking about our podcast. Look at that little man.
Oh my goodness. Sabrina, you have any questions?
What?
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What matches do you want to see at Smash Master Wrestling?
Oh no.
I don't know. I love Adina. I love Riley. I don't know if they've faced each other, but I'd love to see that. I mean, either way, they both work great.
I would love to see.
Come on, Sabrina. Who do you want to see MIT work? Let's go ahead. Let's just get it out there.
I honestly would like to see him work Mr. Roxas.
Roxas. Ooh, that would be fun.
Because I feel with Mr. MIT's energy and like how he like doesn't care, and Roxas is that's a whole new thing. You know what I mean? Like I think I don't know. I'm a huge MIT person, like I said, so I think that anybody you put him against, he'll put 100% of effort into that match.
I think anybody that didn't know what the letters MIT stood for that saw any of his matches with Jason Furious knows now. Because that kid put himself on the map with those 3 matches. Absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah. When I first came to your show, his friend Cam came, and me and Cam actually went to college together. So that's what also got me keep coming back to Smash, just because I was like, okay, at least I know when I get there, I won't be sitting alone. Whereas PPW, I have Harley. So Smash, I'm like, okay, Cam's here. He's with Mr. Intellectual. Cool. All right, I know them. And so like, I just keep rooting for people that I've known since day one, like you, Skylar, and Mr. MIT are my top 3 at Smash right
now. I don't want to ruin surprises, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming. A lot of fun stuff coming this year. And then speaking of classics, I know we talked about like 5 minutes ago, but I got ADD, so like I forget things and then come back to them. I did just announce we're going to be doing a series of shows at Classics. They're all going to be specially themed. You will see some of your favorites on these shows. You'll see some really cool guests coming in. Obviously, with Goon Dang It, you know what you're getting your hands on. You know you're getting Killing and the Boys in. We have the Yins Y'all Brawl coming in May. And I can't wait to make the announcements of who's coming in with that. Of course, we've got a show that's going to be themed around Bougie, but is it going to be themed around Bougie? It's just going to be named after. It's hard to say. You'll have to stay tuned. So much fun stuff coming this year, and I hope you guys get a chance to come out and enjoy as much as possible. We're doing Saturday nights, Sunday afternoons, Civic Center, family-friendly shows, bar shows that are a little less family-friendly. We're going to be all over the place. We're going to be doing a little bit of everything, something to appeal to everyone. Come on out and check it out. I'm going to be dropping some I was talking to Alex at High Tension last night, and I'm going to be dropping the rest of the matches from show number 1 on YouTube so that everybody can watch them for free. I'm hoping to have those up probably shortly after we conclude our discussion here. So like it'll be pretty quickly. You'll get to see some MIT, you'll get to see some Skylar, you'll get to see some me, you get to see some Medina, Kit Raff, the whole gang. I'm going to put everything up. I'm going to get show number 2 and show number 3 up in the next couple weeks. And then we are currently working on getting that 5-7 Ho Ho Ho, my favorite show that we've put together, up online as quickly as possible. So y'all can see Jay Bougie versus Philly Mike.
now,
matches.
When is Smash Wrestling going to come up with their own shirts and merchandise?
When I stop being lazy and I pull Photoshop up and I get inspired and just start making the designs. Long overdue. I just got to do it. I have
the fans want some merch.
The fans want merch. The fans will get merch. I promise. I try to do everything on my own. I'm not good at relying on other people. My crew will tell you how annoying that is, how frustrating it can be. But I am going to be working the merch game a little bit. I want to get some beer koozies because that's my life. I'm gonna get some hats, some patches, stickers, and of course t-shirts made up. So we'll get some Smash merch out there. Keep your eyes open. I'm gonna do a special shirt for Adina and a special shirt for Mike to help try to raise money for both of them. This just really sucks, for them to miss so much time. And then those were two of our big stars that we had, and so had to make a lot of changes with Adina being out. Don't know how long she's going to be out. As soon as she comes back, though, it's full blown Superman mode. As soon as Mike's back, I'll start having gray hairs again. So I want to help those kids get going. So while you're waiting for Smash Master merch, while you're waiting for special merch for them, go check out their merch stores, buy stuff from them, help keep my homies warm this winter till they can get back to work. What kind of merch do you guys want to see? You guys love t-shirts or what?
I like hood. I'm a hoodie person. Like any hoodie, I'm like, this is exciting and fun. Harley?
I'd say beanies. I love beanies.
I feel like people get tired of t-shirts. I know I do. You can only have so many t-shirts.
Yeah, definitely.
I have there's so many times at PPW, and I think Harley can attest to this. Like we have a lot of merch from PPW that it's like just t-shirts, and it's like just let's like step it up a little bit. Let's have some like sweatshirts. Let's have some hats. Something else that we can like.
I'll be honest. I've wrestled from Pennsylvania to Maine last year. A bunch of states, like I think 19 different promotions. I have a tote full of Mastodon shirts, and I'm pretty sure that people are just t-shirted out. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to like get a bunch of t-shirts made, but I would love to get other things made, which is why I was asking, sweatshirts, hats, patches. I want to do beer koozies. I'm also looking for more affordable options too, because dropping $30 on a t-shirt gets pretty stiff after a while. But if you can drop like $5 or $10 on a beer koozie or a bandana or a couple posters, I have tons of posters. I always have extra leftover show posters. So if y'all want some cool stuff, I got you. Just come find me. If you can find me at a show.
But
no, I get that.
Yeah, definitely. That's all for me. I think you
this
went
is
through
one of like the fastest. Yeah, we're very oriented today, which is shocking for both of us today. Because usually one of us is like on the other. Well, usually it's me on the other side of her brain. But today, no, I'm actually really focused, which is kind of scaring me a little bit. So
these lunchtime chats are good. It might be in your wheelhouse.
I know. Well, I had to like pause mute my mic a little bit because my stomach's like growling. So, but if people want to find you, where can they find you on social media?
So you can find, more importantly than me, find Smash Master Wrestling, right yonder. It's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's just at Smash Master Wrasslin, WRASSLIN, because I can't be normal. And then on Twitter, it's Smash Master 570, because apparently wrestling was too many extra letters. And then you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rosh Dang It. My name is Rosh, and I think that's funny. So yeah, you can find me on socials, but just find me on Smash Master. See what the kids are doing. See what give them the attention. I'm around. You'll find me. Trust me. If I'm in the building, you will see me. You will find me. Go see my friends. They do great work. They do great wrestling. This is all about them, and I love them all to death.
I love that.
Harley, would you like to do the outro today and kind of give an outlook on what's happening on Sunday?
Yeah.
Saturday? Friday? This weekend? I'm tired. Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, we just want to thank you for coming on. It was definitely fun. Definitely a quick one. But just stay tuned because this Friday we have Andy Header coming on the podcast. Saturday, I was going to say the wrong name. Me and Sabrina will be at AXW in Hamburg. And then on Sunday, we have 2 episodes coming to you with Chris Slade and Rick Recon. Rick Recon.
That'll be a fun conversation. That's a cool cat.
Yeah. And so we have really quick, we have the Pro Wrestling Podcast in the chat saying, when can I come on? You know?
Hey, Pro Wrestling Podcast, when can I come on?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You know what's funny is wait, but before we end this real quick, Harley, is Raj like one of those people? This is our first like non PPW person that we've had on, is it not? That like he wasn't on PPW ever.
Yeah.
Never.
This is a big moment for this podcast. We're branching out.
We're
growing up.
Wreck it. We'll break you out of just the PPW bubble. Not there's anything wrong with the PPW bubble. We'll break you out of it and get you the wide world of NEPA's pro wrestling scene.
And we couldn't interview any of your other wrestlers unless we started out with Uncle Masty himself.
Let's start with the boss. You let me know who you want. I'll tell them that they're coming on. We won't even make it a request. I'll just tell them.
So Mr. MIT, no,
calls him right now. You need to get on here.
Oh man. The Pro Wrestling Podcast said, come on down, have your people call my people.
You heard it here. But no, yeah. So thank you for coming on. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, like make sure you're checking out this weekend's episodes. Make sure you're giving him a follow, checking out his shows. You know, it's 2023 is going to be a big one. So make sure you're checking it out. Bye.